December 1st, December 14th, New Style. The memory of the Holy Prophet Nahum. The Holy Prophet Nahum, one of the 12 so-called minor prophets, hailed from Galilee, from the village of Elkosh. The main content of Nahum's book is the prophecy about the fall and destruction of Nineveh, predicting the calamities that the righteous Lord would bring upon this city, and vividly portraying the ultimate and complete destruction of this great and strongly fortified city. Prophet Nahum foretells the fall of Nineveh as punishment for its lawlessness, particularly for the destruction of the Israelite kingdom and for the blasphemy of Sennacherib against Jehovah. Thus Nahum repeats the dreadful prophecy that was uttered against Nineveh by the prophet Jonah. Jonah's prophecy of Nineveh's demise was not annulled, only postponed. The Ninevites, having repented briefly after the preaching of the prophet Jonah, and seeing that his prophecy did not come true, returned to their previous evil deeds. By this they once again angered God and offended his patience. The occasion for this prophecy was as follows. When Sennacherib's army was miraculously destroyed under the walls of Jerusalem, and Sennacherib withdrew with threats, the Jews, though happy about this liberation, feared that Sennacherib, angered by his failure, would again gather an army even larger than before, and reappear, as he threatened, under the walls of Jerusalem. To calm and encourage the Jewish people, the prophet Nahum delivered his speech, predicting the final destruction of Nineveh as punishment for its iniquities. In particular, he foresaw that Nineveh would be devastated by a mighty flood, and the treasures of the city would be plundered and destroyed by fire. The entire book of the prophet Nahum represents a continuous exposition of God's dreadful decree about the destruction of Nineveh for conspiring evil against the Lord, while the kingdom of Judah is predicted to be liberated from the Assyrian yoke. This is followed by a description of the siege and the actual destruction of Nineveh. Finally, it is explained that Nineveh fully deserved such a fate due to its debauchery and sorcery, through which it enslaved nations. Therefore, no means of defense will save it, and all nations will rejoice at being rid of such a cruel oppressor. This prophecy of Nineveh's destruction by water and fire was fulfilled literally. Besieged by enemies, Nineveh endured a siege for 3 years. Only when the Tigris River flooded, eroding the city walls, did the enemies manage to enter the city before the Ninevites could build new walls. They then destroyed the city to its foundations. The king of Nineveh, despairing of his salvation and fearing capture, ordered a large pyre to be built in his palace. He gathered all his treasures there, and set himself and his concubines ablaze. Thus the dire words of Nahum and the great prophet Isaiah were fulfilled. The time of Nahum's ministry dates back to the second half of the reign of King Hezekiah of Judah, that is, from 745 to 714 BCE, after the destruction of the Israelite kingdom. No other details about the life of the prophet are known. According to tradition, he died at the age of 45 and was buried in his homeland.